Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Money, Real Business podcast. I'm Lauren, and today we have David on the show. He's selling his Amazon FBA business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. Hey David, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
Hi Lauren, how are you? Nice for having me here. It's great. I'm here in Miami, Florida, and everything is great, sunny.
Fantastic. Yeah, you're in a great part of the world, and I'm really looking forward to learning more about you and your business. But before we dive in, I'm going to give the listeners a brief summary of the business. This is an Amazon FBA business created in January 2014 in the pet care niche. The average revenue for the business is $70,138, and it makes an average of $7,366 per month in net profit. The assets included with the business are an Amazon Seller Central account with 140 SKUs, a domain with all site content and files, supplier relationships, a Shopify account, a Walmart account, trademarks, and Facebook and Instagram social media accounts. Please note that inventory is not normally included in the list price, but further details can be provided to active buyers. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 59107 to learn more about this business. Or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So David, now let's hear from you. Can you fill us in on your background in starting and running online businesses?
Sure. I come from Venezuela, South America, and down there I used to be a computer wholesaler. When I decided to move to the United States, I contacted a friend of mine, actually a supplier, and he gave me a few lines because I wanted to open a distribution for Central America. While I was building the team and the distribution, I decided to put the products on Amazon to see how it goes. Long story short, I never opened the distribution center and I started to dedicate to sell on Amazon. First, I started with computer accessories, which was I used to know, and then I decided to start this private label brand in the pet industry. I dedicated many hours to study the marketplace, the strategies, the metrics, the correlation with each other, establishing processes, etc.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's a great story. I'm glad if Amazon gave you such success. What attracted you to the Amazon FBA model as opposed to other e-commerce options like Shopify, for example?
Well, actually, first of all, you have 300 million people coming into the marketplace, while on Shopify, you have to look for those people. So you have people coming into the ecosystem and you just have to do a good job on SEO, on keywords to outstand your listings. But the people is there, and the FBA offers you the possibility to ease your workload because you ship the products to Amazon and they take care of all the shippings and all the logistics from the moment the customer purchases the product until they receive it, and even after that. So that's what appeals to me, the FBA model on Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. That's all very true. What made you decide to sell product in the pet care niche?
I'm a pet lover, and I've been a pet lover all my life. And as a user and as a pet lover, I know how emotionally driven a person is towards their pet. So we decided to build a brand in the pet accessories niche due to that. I know for myself because I spend more in my dog than I spend on myself. So that's why drove me to open the business into this niche.
Yeah, I think that's a great approach. I'm also guilty of spending way too much money on my dog. It certainly sounds like you have a passion for this business and you've had a lot of success with it. What is the reason that you're selling it now?
Well, there are a couple of reasons. One, I think I took it to the point that it's my top right now financially. I don't have the resources. I don't have the time to dedicate to take this business to the next level. And second, I also have a background in consultant. And a few years ago, I started because a couple of acquaintances came to me asking me for help for them to sell on Amazon. And I started doing that for them, and that has grown. And that's really my passion. I really like the consultant part. I really like taking the challenge of taking a new project and trying to boost it. And right now, was a side business is becoming a more important business for me, which is the consultant part. And the good thing is that I put my knowledge and my time into this, and I don't have to put money into this. So that's why I think that this business is actually stable enough and it has peaked for me so I can sell it right now and focus on the consultant part.
Fantastic. Sounds like you got some exciting times ahead of you as you launch into your consulting career. I'm sure there's been some ups and downs with this business. What would you say is your biggest win since starting this business?
First of all, coming from my business is done in Venezuela, I had a huge structure. I have several dozens employees. It was a pretty big structure. What I really liked about this business, it's very asset light. You have the way I structured this business, it's asset light. Most of my structure is outsourced. So I don't have that fixed cost into the business. That's what I really liked about this business. It was a major win. Those months that I have more inventory, that I sell more, the cost goes up. But those months that you're not doing so well, the cost goes down. So you have more control over that. That's what I really like about the way the business is structured right now. But I think it requires more investment to take it to the next level at this point.
Yeah, fantastic. And on the flip side of the coin, what would you say was your biggest setback or challenge with this business?
Right now, the biggest setback has been the last 2 years where COVID hit. And I believe it's something that everybody has experienced. And the supply chain has been delayed. We have some major challenges on the supply chain, on the costs of the logistics. And the Amazon environment also has been, they're trying to get rid of those bad actors in the market. So they're kind of getting more strict in their policies, in their metrics, which if you're disciplined and you keep doing everything as the way it used to be, it's a good thing for us, for the sellers. But at the moment when they start implementing all these changes, it was challenging at first. So I believe those implementations and the supply chains has been the main challenges that the business is facing or was facing the last 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. Those changes, I think, have caused a lot of setbacks for many, many sellers. When it comes to traffic to your business, are you using PPC or listing description SEO to drive traffic to your products?
We use both. We do a lot of Amazon PPC. We don't do much advertising outside of Amazon because of the product per se. But in Amazon, we do a lot of PPC, and we have a platform that helped me manage all that. And we do a lot of listing, description, SEO based on the information that I get from the Amazon PPC. But I do rely on that.
Okay, great. So, David, what would you see as the major opportunities for growth with this business?
I believe there are many. First of all, I would say expanding the line. There is huge opportunities expanding the line, getting more products into the portfolio. Two, finding suppliers closer to our market. Right now, most of my suppliers are from China, Taiwan, and on the Far East. But if you find suppliers close to the United States, it'll be a great opportunity. Also, opening the Amazon marketplace in the other regions that they offer, developing unique products that can also boost the e-commerce side, which is Shopify, and developing other channels that I'm doing right now. I'm developing Walmart and Chewy, it's a great channel as well for this kind of product.
Yeah, you touched a bit on your suppliers there. I want to dive a bit further into that. Can you walk me through what your supply chain looks like?
Yeah, most of the suppliers, as I said, they're in China. And right now, production, most of them, it's an average 35 to 45 days. Then it comes the shipping part. We ship to our 3PL, to our third party logistics here in Miami. We don't ship directly to Amazon. There is a reason why, and I'll explain you in a while. And that takes around 30 to 50 days. We are seeing right now delays over 30 to 45 days. So it's kind of challenging. Some containers arrive on time, some containers arrive 1 month later, and it's hard to predict that. So one of the challenges that we have had in the past year that we have to increase our inventory in order to not lose sales, in order not to lose our rank in Amazon and the traction the product they have. And as I mentioned, shipping directly to Amazon, we started that. And the problem with that, when I ship, for example, a 40-foot container, the capacity of my products, it could be somewhere around 64 cubic meters. And when I ship directly to Amazon, it has to be everything palletized, everything ready, and that goes down to maybe 30, 35 cubic meters. So I prefer to bring more and keep it in our warehouse here in Miami, which is outsourced, rather than shipping directly to Amazon. So maybe we can be talking right now that from the time that we place the order until the time the product is on Amazon, it could be around 110 and 120 days.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I presume you're shipping that inventory by sea?
Yes, everything is shipped by sea.
Okay, wonderful. And what are your current inventory limits at Amazon warehouses? Have they been raised or limited in the past year?
Well, we have a couple of months last year, around June, July, that we ran out of stock. And the way they calculate the inventory performance metric, they took a hit on the restock limit because one of the metrics is the FBA in stock rate. But if I don't have the product, it's impossible to have the product in stock. So that metric went down, and that really made a major damage in our restock limit. During September, October, November, and December, I was able to bring it back again. Right now, for example, I have on the standard size storage, I have a capacity of almost 14,000 units. On the oversized storage, I have almost a capacity of 12,000 units. Apparel and footwear doesn't apply to me, so that's 1,000 units. At some point, the standard size went to 2,000 units. Right now, it's at 14,000. So we made a pretty significant improvement over that.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like you were able to repair that damage pretty well. How often during the week would you say you're in contact with your suppliers?
I would say me and my team, we meet every week to see how is the restock needs for the month. And once we have some needs, we prepare a forecast, we prepare an order, and we talk to our suppliers. We might be talking to our suppliers maybe every 2 weeks. We have a very good relationship with all of them for many years.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's definitely a strong asset there. So, David, what does a typical work week look like for you when running this business? What sort of tasks take up your time?
What I do mostly, I review the account metrics every week. I review the restock on the products, both on Amazon and in our warehouse. We rely on a software for that as well that give us a projection, a forecast, and I plan all the purchases. I have the conversation with the suppliers to place the order, follow up, supervise, etc. I analyze the different metrics to improve revenue, and I monitor the Amazon PPC almost every day. And messaging on the customer, we've been very grateful that we don't have many complaints about our product, so we don't have many messages to reply per week. But I do that as well.
Great. Yeah. And do you have a team that helps you with any tasks within the business?
Yeah, I have a family who helped me with all the day to day operations. I do a lot of graphics and I rely on Tableau for analytics. And these particular people, they download all the information into Tableau so I can analyze them and make the proper decisions. They also supervise the logistic with me. They help me. I have this person who is my right hand, and basically we're a team of three. So basically we're pretty small team. When we have to rely on marketing, we outsource that. When we need photography, we outsource that. The logistics, it's outsourced. So it's pretty asset light.
Yeah, it certainly sounds very streamlined, which is a great thing. What would you say are the biggest challenges that buyers need to be aware of when taking over this business?
Well, they have to keep the Amazon metrics as healthy as possible. Amazon metrics health, it's a risk because they shoot first and ask later. They shut down a listing or they shut down the seller and then they request for more information. Luckily, we haven't had our seller suspended or closed over the last 8 years. And that's one of the risks. The other risk is the supply chain. The new buyer needs to be careful to have enough inventory to handle the delays of the shipments. They have to work closely on the cost of the logistics, which has been increased over the last 2 years exponentially, but they're getting down. I've seen from September till now, the costs have gone down maybe 30-40%, and it's still going down. I don't know the actual war and the oil prices, the effect it will have on the logistics. I don't know right now. I haven't seen that yet, but that could be a risk that the new buyer will have to measure and be on top of it. I believe those are basically the way the business right now. I believe those are the two main issues right now. If the new buyer wants to include new products into the line, well, that comes with a risk as well. But with the products that we have right now, the business is running smoothly.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think that's definitely a good shout. Obviously, the buyer will be looking for some support to help them learn about these challenges and learn how to overcome them. How much support are you willing to offer the buyer?
Well, I'm willing to give them 60 days support, either Zoom, if they're here in Miami, in person, telephone, message, whatever. I'm here for them for the first 60 days. And even after that, I can help them. This is my brand, and I really want it to succeed. So I'm really here to help.
That's wonderful. I think buyers will be very grateful for that. When it comes to negotiating the sale of the business, are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
Yeah, that can be discussed. Yes.
Fantastic. And would you commit to a non-compete agreement?
Yes, of course.
Wonderful. So, David, is there any advice that you would give to our listeners that you wish you knew when you first started this business?
Well, when I first started the business, I moved here to the United States and I started my own operation. I started my own warehouse and I had fixed costs to the roof that I learned later that wasn't necessary. So I would tell the new buyer to keep streamlined and asset light as possible and rely on the people that it's their day-to-day job, like the third-party logistics. And the other thing that I would have loved to know when I started the business is that I threw a lot of arrows at the beginning. I had a huge portfolio of products. And 2 years into the business, I decided to focus on the 80% of the products and I threw away the other 20%. That's when the business really started to come up, when I started to focus on what it's selling. And my plans were, once that was established, I wanted to add maybe 2 or 3 products every year into the offer and focus on them, not trying to add 20 or 30 products into the mix. Maybe 2 or 3 per year, focus on them and then move forward. I would have loved that, to know that from the beginning.
Yeah, that's fantastic advice. And I think it's definitely an area where newcomers to the industry trip themselves up. David, that leads us into the final question of the interview, and probably the most important one. If you had to put yourself into the shoes of a buyer, why do you think your business is a business worth buying?
If you have to balance and put the pros against the cons, you'll realize there are much more reasons to buying it. There is so much potential with the current product. There is so much potential by developing new products. Margins can be optimized greatly. The operations can be greatly improved. And to be honest, I don't think this is the best time for me to be selling the brand, because a lot has happened in the last 2 years that has diminished the business valuation. And on the contrary, it's a great time for someone to step in and improve what I started. And I believe the brand deserves to be taken to a whole new level. I don't have the resources for it, nor the time to do it right now. That's why I'm selling it. And that's why I believe it's a good time for a buyer to step in and take it into the brand.
Yeah, that's a great point. It definitely sounds like a business with a lot of potential. Is there anything else that you'd like to share with our listeners that I might have missed?
No, just want to tell the potential buyer that I'm here to help, that it's a great business, and I'll be all the way with them to help them grow the brand. That's it.
Fantastic. Well, David, thank you so much for coming on the show and giving us more insight into you and your business. It's been really wonderful, and I appreciate you taking the time out of your day.
Thank you very much, Lauren. Thank you for having me here, and it's been great talking to you.
Thanks so much, David. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing number 59107. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.